A mother looked away for just 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. When she looked back, her 6-year-old son was gone. No scream, no struggle, no trace. It was as if he had simply stepped into another world. This is the story of Adam Walsh, the little boy whose disappearance from a Sears department store in 1981 would change America forever. It was a hot July day in Hollywood, Florida. Reeve Walsh took her son, Adam, on a routine shopping trip. While she was at a service counter, Adam wandered over to a nearby aisle where a group of older boys were playing a video game. Reeve kept an eye on him, but for a fleeting moment she turned to speak with the clerk. In that brief window, a security guard, unaware that Adam was with his mother, told the older boys to leave and instructed Adam to go with them. That was the last time Reeve saw her son. The initial hours were a blur of confusion and mounting panic. The store was searched, the police were called, but Adam was nowhere to be found. The happy, freckle-faced boy with a missing front tooth had vanished in plain sight, swallowed by the bustling crowd of a suburban mall. The police lights reflecting on the glass doors that evening marked the beginning of a nightmare that would grip not just the Walsh family, but the entire nation. As days turned into weeks, the search for Adam intensified. His face, captured in a now iconic baseball photo, was plastered on milk cartons, billboards, and television screens across the country. The case became a national obsession, a symbol of every parent's worst fear. The media coverage was relentless, bringing the story into millions of homes. It was a new kind of public awareness campaign, one born from desperation and a father's unwavering determination to find his son. John Walsh, Adam's father, was a force of nature. He refused to let his son's case go cold. He held press conferences, hounded law enforcement, and traveled the country, chasing down every lead, no matter how slim. He and Reeve established the Adam Walsh Child Resource Center, channeling their grief into action. They became pioneers in the fight for missing children, transforming a personal tragedy into a national crusade. The investigation was fraught with missteps and missed opportunities. Early leads were not followed up on properly. Evidence was lost. The prime suspect, a drifter and serial killer named Otis Toole, confessed to Adam's murder multiple times, only to recant his confessions later. Toole was a notoriously unreliable source, a manipulative figure who toyed with investigators. His confessions were detailed, describing how he had abducted Adam from the mall, driven him north, and ultimately killed him. However, without a body and with Toole's constant retractions, the case remained officially unsolved for decades. The police had a bloody carpet from Toole's car, but DNA testing at the time was not advanced enough to provide a definitive link. This frustrating lack of closure only deepened the family's anguish. Then, 2 weeks after Adam's disappearance, a horrifying discovery was made in a canal 120 miles away. A child's head was found, but the rest of the body was never recovered. The medical examiner identified the remains as Adam Walsh. The search was over, but the fight for justice was just beginning. The heartbreak was immeasurable. The nation mourned with the Walshes, and a collective sense of innocence was lost. The idea that a child could be snatched from a public place in broad daylight was a terrifying realization for parents everywhere. The aftermath of Adam's case was monumental. It exposed the systemic failures in how law enforcement handled missing children cases. Before Adam, there was no national coordinated system. Police departments often had a waiting period before they would even begin a search for a missing child, operating under the assumption that most were runaways who would eventually return. The Walsh's relentless advocacy changed all of that. In 1984, the Missing Children's Assistance Act was passed, a direct result of their tireless efforts. This led to the creation of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, or NCMEC. It's a centralized hub that provides resources, support, and expertise to families and law enforcement. The Amber Alert system, though not directly named for Adam, grew from the foundation of awareness that his case built. The Code Adam program, a protocol for when a child goes missing in a public place, is now standard practice in thousands of stores, museums, and parks worldwide. When you hear that announcement in a store, you're hearing Adam Walsh's legacy in action. John Walsh's personal quest for justice transformed him into a public figure. In 1988, he became the host of America's Most Wanted. The show, which profiled unsolved crimes and featured wanted fugitives, became a powerful tool for law enforcement. It empowered ordinary citizens to become part of the solution, to help take criminals off the streets. Over its long run, the show led to the capture of over 1,200 fugitives, including 17 on the FBI's 10 Most Wanted list, and helped locate dozens of missing children. John Walsh turned his pain into a powerful purpose, giving a voice to countless victims who had none. For 27 long years, the Adam Walsh case remained officially open. The family lived in a painful limbo, knowing in their hearts who was responsible but lacking the official declaration. Otis Toole died in prison in 1996 from liver failure, never being formally charged with Adam's murder. He took the full, undisputed truth of that day to his grave. Finally, in December of 2008, the Hollywood, Florida Police Department held a press conference. After a new review of the case file, they announced they were officially closing the Adam Walsh case. They declared with certainty that Otis Toole was the killer. While it wasn't a conviction in a court of law, it was a form of closure. For John and Reeve Walsh, it was the validation they had sought for nearly 3 decades. John Walsh said, "The not knowing is the worst thing in the world." This is not about revenge. It's about justice. Adam Walsh's story is a heartbreaking tragedy, but it's also a story of incredible strength, resilience, and profound change. It's the story of how the loss of one little boy sparked a revolution in child safety. The empty aisle where he once stood became a catalyst for a movement that has protected millions of children. The burning image of his missing poster symbolizes not an end, but the forging of a new era of awareness and action. Adam would be a grown man today. We can never know the life he would have lived, the person he would have become. But his legacy is all around us. It's in the code Adam alerts, the amber alerts that flash on our phones, and in the unwavering mission of the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Adam Walsh, the boy who vanished in plain sight, was never truly lost. His memory became a beacon, a guiding light in the ongoing fight to bring every missing child home. Thank you for watching. If you found this story meaningful, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more content that matters.